Black level raised is one of the biggest problems we have with the picture quality on gaming today, especially on HDR. But this can happen everywhere, and because I'm so focused on it, I can clearly see this issue from a mile away, okay? And it just blows my mind that Microsoft, or Xbox, or whoever was in charge of this live stream, they didn't notice that this was looking washed out, and they were basically advertising Hellblade with a terrible picture quality, okay? And this is unacceptable. This doesn't have anything to do with the resolution or the bit rate, or it was a live stream, none of that. This is just an RGB mismatch. You have limited inside full, and that's why it looks so terrible. So you can go and watch the separate Hellblade trailer, and you will see that that issue is not there. We can play here the trailer, and you see the difference. It is clear. The difference, it is clear. Even on my camera, you can see that difference. So now, this issue can happen even to the undefeated Chael Sonnen, okay? Let's take a look at this. This was a live stream on the Ariel show, the MMA Hour, which I'm a big fan of. Chael Sonnen, MMA, the UFC. I watch all this kind of content, and I noticed that on this live stream, the picture was looking washed out, and the issue is an RGB mismatch. This is limited inside full, okay? And YouTube, everything is limited anywhere. But when you record, this issue happens. And they didn't notice that. And this is not a big deal because this was, it's just a live event. And this is not Microsoft advertising how good the games look. Okay, so this is not a big deal. But my point here is that you can clearly see the issue, okay? And it is the same issue we have with HDR gaming today. And these developers, they are not able to notice that. And it just blows my mind that time and time again, we get these games on HDR looking like this, looking washed out, okay? And the solution is not to force limited, because when you force limited, you are also going to be affecting the whites, okay? So when you're forcing limited, what you're doing is you're expanding the range. And you don't want to do that. You just want to lower the black level to get rid of that black level race so it looks like this, okay? And if Chael Sonnen watches this video, he's not gonna know what I'm talking about here. But everything is okay, okay? You're still undefeated, okay? So yeah, I just wanted to bring this to your attention, that it can happen everywhere, on any TV show, anywhere. In a movie, this can happen everywhere, and all you have to do on your TV is just to lower the black level. So I just want to show you here. This was the live stream from the MMA Hour. Well, you can see here, and this is just on the Chael Sonnen's YouTube channel. So you see the difference. This is not supposed to look like this, all washed out. It is supposed to look black like this. Let me show you that it is a live stream. So you see, it is just a live stream here, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, I just want to bring this to your attention because it is the most important thing. If the picture is washed out like that, you're going to see all the colors are going to look washed out. Everything is gonna look terrible, okay? And sometimes people feel like they want to increase the color saturation because they have a washed out picture. And the solution for washed out colors is not to increase the color saturation, is to lower the black level, okay? So you see here the black bars. In this trailer, it was clear to see because you can see the black bars. They are gray looking, and the black bars are supposed to look black, okay? So in this case, anyone can clearly see these issues. That's why I just don't understand how Microsoft missed that issue. Or Microsoft, yeah, I just don't understand. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions. And before I end the video, now that we are here talking about Microsoft and the Xbox and these upcoming games, Starfield, man. I just want to touch on that Starfield 30 FPS situation. For me, I don't play on an Xbox, okay? But it still matters to me that Starfield is 30 FPS because what that means is that the game is CPU heavy, okay? So if the CPU of the Xbox doesn't have a CPU and a GPU, okay? Just have one integrated chip. But if CPU processing wise, the Xbox was powerful enough to run a Starfield at 60 frames per second, then they just lowered the resolution. It's that simple. So on the PC, you can clearly see that when you lower the resolution, you can increase the frame rate. But when the CPU is the limiting factor, you don't get more FPS even if you lower the resolution. So for me, a Starfield being capped to 30 FPS means that on a Ryzen 3600, for example, which is close to the Xbox CPU performance, it is going to drop below 60, and that is terrible performance. Terrible performance. So I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, I don't care. I don't have an Xbox. I'm gonna play it on my PC. I'm going to get 60. I'm gonna get very good performance." No, you won't. Okay, the game is going to run like crap. Okay, like absolute trash. So for me, Starfield is dead on arrival. I'm sorry. And it is just 30 FPS, in my opinion. It is either a bad creator's decision, incompetence, or both. Okay? And I think most likely both. So it is just a terrible creative decision. You can get 60 frames per second on any console. It's just a matter of the game optimization, the vision, what they are doing. Okay, and it's just wrong. 30 FPS is not acceptable. It is not acceptable. 30 FPS looks terrible everywhere. It just doesn't look acceptable. And it doesn't make any sense to have 30 FPS on such a powerful console. So that's my take. For me, Starfield is dead on arrival. I'm still gonna try it, and I hope I am wrong because I want to like the game. I love the idea of traveling to many different planets and see aliens. I mean, that's the dream. Okay, that's the sci-fi dream, what they're trying to accomplish. So I want that game to be awesome and to run fantastic, but I know it won't. Okay, so I might be able to lock the game to 60 FPS on my PC. I have a Ryzen 5800X 3D and a 3080 12 gigabytes. So I'm expecting to be able to lock the game to 60 FPS, and hopefully I am wrong. We don't have any traversal stutters, which I highly doubt. Hopefully we don't have any shader compilation stutters. So if I can at least lock the frame rate to 60 and I can use OLED Motion Pro High on my LG C1, the game is going to look in motion like 158 FPS based on my testing. So that's a very good experience. The input lag is good, and I'm going to be able to enjoy the game. But I'm afraid that's not gonna be the case, and the frame rate is going to be very unstable and all over the place. It's going to stutter. It's gonna be a mess, and the game doesn't look that good anyway. Okay, so the justification of because the game is big, the performance is trash, is just wrong. Okay, it's just a matter of the draw distance. The game can be gigantic in size, but when you are here on this planet looking at this building or at this tree, the game doesn't have to be rendering 1,000 other planets. Okay, so it is just a matter of how good that engine is working and how good everything is optimized to work. Okay, and for me, 30 FPS on the Xbox means they couldn't make that game run good enough. So that's just incompetence, in my opinion. Okay, because a first-person shooter, 30 FPS is just failure. Okay, it's just a failure. It's unacceptable. I'm sorry. So that's my take on that. Xbox is just a stumbling, and it is just a miss after a miss after a miss. It's just they are yet to have a game that is really wow, amazing. It's just terrible. They don't. It's just terrible. I don't know. You see, Hellblade. I'm hoping Hellblade to be very good, but the performance, I'm not expecting the performance of Hellblade to be good. Fable, they didn't show anything, so I don't know. And then they showed this game at 15 frames per second. So the animations of the games are 15 frames per second. I forgot the name of that game. And it was just copy and paste from The Last of Us. This guy playing the guitar. I saw a side-by-side video between The Last of Us and that game, and it was just exactly the same camera angles, the same timing to change the camera. It was a copy from The Last of Us 2. Now, to their credit, I am a professional guitarist, okay? And I'm a guitar teacher. And I'm telling you, to their credit, the fingers of that character that was playing the guitar, it was perfect, okay? I'm telling you, like, it was absolutely amazing. But 15 frames per second doesn't let me see things. Okay, it's just a stutter mess. So I just not excited about it. So they basically have nothing on that entire conference. I didn't see anything avowed. It was looking like a PlayStation 3 game with a longer draw distance. That was it. And it was looking very colorful, out of place. Like the colors of that game were looking out of place. Like you had like a very, serious and gray looking color palette, and then like neon colors with strange, rocks and vegetation that looks like underwater vegetation, but very colorful. That was just looking very, very strange, and the graphics very outdated. So I didn't see anything on that Xbox conference third-party stuff. Yeah, Ubisoft did impress me, and I'm looking forward to a lot of those Ubisoft games. Okay, so yeah, that's my take. So let me know. This is not fanboy or anything. I don't have an Xbox. I don't have a PS5. I play on my PC. I couldn't care less about that console war, battle. I just don't care about that. But yeah, that's my take. And yeah, hopefully we don't have black level race on Hellblade on HDR. On SDR, I know it's not gonna happen, but on HDR, it might happen. But the first Hellblade HDR was actually good. It was good. The peak brightness didn't tell you, what the max CLL was, but if you adjust that peak brightness accordingly, the HDR of Hellblade, the first one, was very good actually. So I hope the HDR of that game is good. But yeah, Microsoft missed that, and yeah, don't blame the MMA hour. This was just a live event, but it was just an example to show you that this can happen anywhere. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.